Hi, I'm Eric Geller from TheForce.Net, and today I'm going to be showing you this new book that recently came out, The Sounds of Star Wars by J.W. Rinzler, foreword by Ben Burt. Basically, the book is a compendium of the audio work that has been done on the 6 Star Wars films and the Clone Wars series. The interesting thing is that in addition to providing great photographs and stories of the process, you also get this audio module on the right, which I'll show you later, which basically corresponds, they give you numbers in the book. So let me show you an example. Down here, camera may not show you, but that says Greedo talking and Han Solo blasts Greedo and thump on table. Those are two separate audio clips, and if I were to go over here and choose with this module here the particular number that corresponded, I could actually play that sound. So it's really a good way to read this book, especially because it deals with something that they can't put onto a printed page. I think it's a really interesting book that everybody who's a fan of Star Wars, and specifically people who really like the sound work on the films, should go pick up at their bookstore or online. It's an in-depth look. Ben Burt wrote the foreword, as I've said, and he did a good job sort of encapsulating what it's like to do sound work for these films. And they do also explore the Clone Wars in this book. It's pretty cool. You see some photographs. Obviously, these are snapshots from the movies here, but then you also get photos like this, which show you how they're setting up specific shots that you remember from the films. You can flip through and see some pretty cool artwork as well. So what they do is they separate each chapter corresponds to either the story of the work on that project sound-wise, or the compendium of audio clips that they're going to share with you. So for example here, this is The Empire Strikes Back, and they have subtitles, so that says a more sophisticated symphony. That's sort of encapsulating the what it was like to do this particular project's sound work. So this is the story section. This is where they tell you sort of how that project was approached from a sound point of view. And then I guess, let me flip through here, let's get to the sound, the actual sound portion here. Let's see. Empire Strikes Back. Oh, I went past it here. And let's see. Oh, okay, so here we go. So this is the sound. So this is actually not Empire. I flipped past the Empire section, but this is the sounds section for Return of the Jedi. So there was a section for Return of the Jedi that dealt with the story, and this is now the section that sort of gives you a bunch of clips. For example, that's 3PO and R2 at Jabba's Palace door, and it's labeled 132, iRobot talking. So let's go on the audio module to 132, and we'll be able to listen to that clip. It's interesting because the photographs, particularly the behind-the-scenes ones, do a great job of giving you a sense of what it was like to set up that shot or that scene from an audio point of view. And it really takes you back looking at these stills. You can almost imagine what it would sound like. And now, thanks to this book, you can actually hear it. So let's make sure the audio is working here. Let's play it. See, that's the door guard, little robot guy talking. And then this, 133, when the door opens, you can also hear that. So let's play that. I think actually this is one of the most interesting ways to approach sound and learning about sound, because you're not watching the movie. You have these pictures to illustrate, but you're not looking at the visuals, at least not the moving visuals. You're just sort of hearing the pure, separate, very clear audio. And it's a great way to experience the movie from a sort of a sightless point of view. You can look at the pictures and that will remind you of the scene, but then when you want to hear just the sound, and after you've read about how they set that up, how they produce that sound, you can actually hear the sound. And Ben Burt actually talks about sort of the stories we all know about how he got the lightsaber sounds. They go in depth about how probably the most iconic sounds, the lightsaber, the blaster, how those were created. And then obviously, as I've said, it does talk about the Clone Wars as well. So you can flip through the They go original trilogy and then prequel trilogy. So you can flip around. If you go to the back of the book, you'll see here's the sounds of the Clone Wars. So let's flip into that a little bit. This is the most recent project time-wise. So for those of you who just recently got into Star Wars, or at least at this level of depth, you might be more familiar with how these sounds were produced from interviews or hearing from the audio engineers like Matt Wood and Dave Acord. And they do talk a lot about sort of the meaning, the symbolism of particular sounds, why they chose sounds. They have quotes from Matt Wood and Dave Acord talking about how they decided to make a particular sound. For example, here we have selections from when the Magna Guards, Grievous's Magna Guards, when they speak, what Aurra Sing's rifle sounds like. So it's really an interesting take, and I'm actually glad they put in the Clone Wars because, as we know, that's been one of the most interesting projects recently from a sound point of view. Certainly the video games are exciting, but this is really more of a cinematic take on sound. And as you can hear on the show, which returns soon for Season 3, there is a lot of care and attention paid to the audio. So that's sort of a brief look at this book. It's The Sounds of Star Wars by J.W. Rinzler. It's really an excellent book to have, not just for the writing, for the stories that these audio wizards tell, not just for the pictures that they give you of what it was like to set up that sound work, but also because of this module over here, which I really like. They did a trivia book a while back. It's called like Obsessed with Star Wars. I think that the publisher is the same one, and it's really a great way to have some interactivity. You're reading, but then you're also listening. You're also playing along, and I look forward to more books of this variety where they really sort of put you into the saga by having you participate in the things that you're actually learning about. So I'm Eric Geller from TheForce.Net, and this has been a video walkthrough of The Sounds of Star Wars by J.W. Rinzler.